Are your money habits keeping you poor? You might be surprised by some of the things you're doing every day that are draining your bank account. In this video, we're diving deep into the 10 money habits that are secretly draining your wallet. So, if you're ready to take control of your finances, ditch the bad habits, and start building real wealth, stick around because this video is for you. How many of you actually have a detailed budget? Don't worry, I'm not here to judge. I used to be the same way. I thought budgets were restrictive and boring, but let me tell you, not having a budget is like driving with your eyes closed. A budget is simply a plan for your money. It's about making conscious choices about where you want your money to go instead of letting it slip through your fingers. Without a budget, it's way too easy to overspend in certain areas without even realizing it. Think about those daily coffees, those impulse Amazon purchases, or those subscriptions you forgot you even had. These small expenses might seem insignificant on their own, but they can add up to a significant drain on your finances over time. Creating a budget doesn't have to be complicated. There are tons of apps and tools out there that can help you track your income and expenses effortlessly. Remember, a budget is not about restricting your freedom. It's about empowering you to make informed decisions about your money so you can achieve your financial goals faster. Now, let's talk about a habit that plagues so many people, living paycheck to paycheck. It's a stressful way to live, constantly worrying about whether you'll have enough to cover your bills until the next paycheck arrives. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you have zero wiggle room in your finances. This means any unexpected expense, like a medical bill or a car repair, can completely derail your finances and potentially lead to debt. Breaking free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle starts with building an emergency fund. Ideally, you want to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up in a readily accessible account. Even if you can only afford to save a small amount each month, it's better than nothing. Start small and gradually increase your savings rate as you make more money or cut back on expenses. Building an emergency fund takes time and discipline, but it's one of the most important steps you can take to achieve financial security and peace of mind. We've all been there. You're scrolling through social media and suddenly you see an ad for something you just have to have. Or maybe you're at the checkout line and you toss a few extra items into your basket just because. That, my friends, is impulse buying, and it's a surefire way to sabotage your financial goals. Impulse buying is driven by emotion, not logic. It's about instant gratification without considering the long-term consequences. Before you know it, you've spent way more than you intended, and you're left with a bunch of stuff you probably don't even need. One effective strategy is to implement a cooling off period. If you see something you want to buy, give yourself 24 hours or even longer to think about it. Remember, every dollar you save from resisting impulse buys is a dollar you can put toward your financial goals. Whether it's paying off debt, investing, or saving for a down payment on a house. Let's talk about a serious wealth killer, high-interest debt. I'm talking about credit card debt, payday loans, or any other type of debt that carries an exorbitant interest rate. These types of debt can quickly spiral out of control, trapping you in a cycle of endless payments. Think of it like this. Every dollar you owe in high-interest debt is a dollar that's not working for you. Instead of investing your money and growing your wealth, you're essentially throwing money away on interest payments. The first step to tackling high-interest debt is to stop digging yourself deeper. Avoid using your credit cards for unnecessary purchases and focus on paying down your existing debt as quickly as possible. There are a couple of popular strategies for paying off debt: the snowball method and the avalanche method. Remember, the key is to be consistent and stay focused on your goal of becoming debt-free. Let's be honest, investing can seem intimidating, especially if you're not familiar with the ins and outs of the stock market. But here's the thing. Not investing is one of the biggest financial mistakes you can make. Why? Because you're missing out on the incredible power of compound growth. Compounding is like magic. It's the process of earning interest on your interest, which means your money grows exponentially over time. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to compound, and the greater your potential returns. One of the easiest and most effective ways to start investing is through a Roth IRA or a 401k. especially if your employer offers any matching contributions. These accounts offer tax advantages and make investing accessible to everyone. If you're overwhelmed by the thought of picking individual stocks, don't worry. You can start with low-cost index funds or ETFs, exchange-traded funds, that track the performance of a specific market index like the S&P 500. You get a promotion, you start making more money, and suddenly you feel the need to upgrade your lifestyle. You buy a bigger house, a nicer car, start eating out more often. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it's a sneaky wealth killer. Lifestyle inflation can happen so gradually that you don't even realize it's happening. The key to combating lifestyle inflation is to be mindful of your spending habits and to set clear financial goals. Ask yourself, is this purchase truly adding value to my life, or am I just trying to keep up with the Joneses? Instead of upgrading your lifestyle with every raise or bonus, consider putting that extra money towards your financial goals. Increase your savings rate, invest more aggressively, or pay down debt faster. Remember, true wealth isn't about how much you spend, it's about how much you keep and grow. In a world saturated with information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and avoid dealing with finances altogether. But here's the thing. Ignoring financial education is like walking through a minefield blindfolded. You're bound to make some costly mistakes. Financial literacy is essential for making informed decisions about your money. It's about understanding basic concepts like budgeting, investing, debt management, and retirement planning. The good news is, there are countless resources available to help you improve your financial literacy. There are books, podcasts, websites, courses, you name it. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, right? Wrong! Having clear financial goals is crucial for staying motivated and on track with your finances. Without goals, it's easy to fall into the trap of living in the moment and making impulsive decisions that could derail your financial future. Financial goals give you something to work towards and help you prioritize your spending and saving habits. Do you want to buy a house? Retire early? Travel the world? Whatever your aspirations are, write them down and break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. Once you have your goals in place, create a plan of action. Focus on what truly matters to you and create a plan to achieve it. Do you know where your money is going each month? If you're not tracking your expenses, you're essentially flying blind when it comes to your finances. You might think you have a good handle on your spending, but it's amazing how quickly those small, seemingly insignificant expenses can add up. Tracking your expenses allows you to see exactly where your money is going, identify areas where you might be overspending, and make adjustments to your budget as needed. Luckily, tracking your expenses is easier than ever with the abundance of personal finance apps available today. You can link your bank accounts and credit cards to these apps, and they'll automatically categorize your transactions, giving you a clear picture of your spending patterns. The key is to find a system that works for you and stick to it consistently. Many people are uncomfortable with the idea of negotiating, but the truth is, negotiation is a crucial skill that can save you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Whether you're negotiating a salary, a rent payment, or even the price of a car, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself and ask for what you deserve. The worst thing that can happen is they say no, and you're back to where you started. But you might be surprised by how often people are willing to negotiate, especially if you're prepared and approach the conversation professionally and respectfully. Before you enter any negotiation, do your research. Remember, negotiation is a skill that takes practice, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become. So, there you have it. 10 money habits that are secretly draining your wallet. The good news is, by identifying these habits and taking steps to break free from them, you can gain control of your finances and start building a brighter financial future. Remember, financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on managing your money better. Until next time, stay focused, stay motivated, and keep building that wealth.